disturbing story from Chennai. A class 9 schoolboy allegedly stabbed his teacher to death inside the classroom in front of his classmates.
School administration says the student may have been upset by remarks she wrote in his diary. This incident happened at 11 this morning in a private school. 31-year-old Uma Maheshwari had been teaching Hindi at the school for the past 10 years. The student reportedly entered the classroom ahead of others. And that's where the teacher was waiting for the class to begin. He came and stabbed her to death. The student is now in police custody. Joining us this evening is Dr. Sandeep Vora. He is a consultant psychiatrist at Apollo. Dr. Vora, at some point, I think every teenager feels that sort of anger for their teacher, but nobody, most of us at least, don't take such an extreme step. What made this boy do this? What went on in his mind, you think? And do you think there were some symptoms that went unnoticed?
See, the exact cause of the incident, what went on his mind, can be evaluated only after we take a thorough history of his behavioral pattern during the incident, before the incident, and we take relevant history from the people who have been close to him. But the fact is that it is really a shocking incident that shows the increasing amount of aggression in our youth these days, and the fact that he actually murdered can actually tell us few things. One, that this child was definitely aggressive, which in your package also was being discussed, that in the past also he has hit a boy, a classmate. The other thing here is that many times we have underlying psychiatric disorders in children which go unnoticed. So, and there is absolutely, I would say, minimal knowledge as far as psychological aspect of children's mind, as far as knowing about it in the arena of teaching. That would mean the teachers are unaware how to deal with their children. Simultaneously, the fact that the family structure is also changing. Now there are nuclear families, the parents cannot give sufficient time to the children. So the reason could be anything from a person with a child with aggressive personality to actually a child having undetected psychiatric illness and actually doing something in a fit of rage. Right. The exact cause we understood, and yeah.
Doctor, yes, the exact cause perhaps only after a detailed study of the student who you perhaps haven't even met or been able to analyze. But the points you're raising, just want to tell our viewers as well, you can call in with your calls. We've got the first caller coming in. We'll try and take your questions both to the doctor here as well as to Meenakshi Mahadevan, who's got with her the correspondent of the school. Mangalam, I believe our first caller is calling in from Bangalore. Go ahead, ma'am. What's your question?
Hello?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, sir. Sir, because the teacher has written the remarks and she has complained to the parents, he has stabbed the teacher. Then in what way we have to punish if the student does a mistake? Then how we should correct him?
Right, doctor, do you want to take that question? This is something that a lot of teachers confront.
Yeah, yes, absolutely. See, the thing here is that we have to understand it is very, very unusual. I would say one of the rarest thing when, as far as India is concerned, we have heard that a young student actually killing a teacher. But the fact remains that there is no counseling system existing prevalent in our schools. Ideally speaking, we must have a mechanism in which any child showing any abnormal behavior, any child showing below par performance should be evaluated in a psychological way through a qualified person, and at that time, if we feel that there is some sort of psychological input, including counseling, is required, that should be brought. Now, the lady asked about how do we handle such children. Many times you have children who can be actually controlled by asking their parents to come and understanding what is troubling them. Many of such children have seen their fathers beating up their mothers. They have seen alcoholism in the family. They have seen they themselves are beaten up. So the cause has to be evaluated, and based on that the remedy has to be sought. So the issue here is, and the burning issue if you ask me, is that it is high time each and every school of this country start thinking about psychiatric illnesses and psychological well-being of students vis-a-vis the dynamics of a respect for teacher, dynamics being maintained. And the other issue definitely is that there is no, I would say, the moral values are also going down.
Okay.
And whatever the children are learning these days is not a traditional Indian mindset.
Right. Right. So a host of issues that really need to be looked at. Also joining us is another caller, Ramanathan from Bangalore. I'm told, what's your question, sir?
Hello.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
I am Ramanathan, speaking from Chennai, Tinagar.
Right. What's your question?
Well, that is because of TV serials, these students have become hungry.
Right.
Right? And we have to give them proper punishment to the students.
All right. That's your view. How do you respond, Dr. Vora? Is it because of television that kind of influence?
I would say definitely that mass media, whether it is in the form of internet, it's in the form of movies, it is in the form of video games in aggressive way, definitely these are playing on the minds of the children. But we have to have some sort of self-regulation. Nobody can actually control each and every child. So the responsibility is to be shared between the parents and the school teachers jointly. Because what happens these days, that as far as teachers are concerned, they are handling the ratio in a school is 40 to 50 and sometimes more. So we don't expect each and every teacher to be able to cater to the child. And there has to be coordination between the teachers and the parents of each and every child if we want a right solution. So it is very important for us to understand that we somewhere down the line have to have some sort of guidance for our children, because you see these days the parents are working, they don't have time to actually see their children. So the children are being reared by, I would say, maid servants, or the parents are coming late. So what do they have? They have 24 hours internet, 24 hours TV
Doctor,
channels.
at the end of the day, these are perhaps larger social problems that we face as social reality today. There can be no quick fix, but just going back to the point that you were making about more psychoanalysis and psychiatrists in schools, do you think there is enough, at least awareness, if not being done, even in upmarket schools on this issue?
No, not at all. You'll be surprised to know that even the topmost schools do not understand the psychological value of handling children. And let me tell you, as per World Health Organization, 10 to 20% of the children, school-going children, have some sort of emotional problem or the other. So you can very well imagine, out of 100, if 10 to 20 have got some sort of emotional problem, we must have some sort of way in which to tackle. It does not exist. Even if from a psychiatrist perspective, we try to handle and try to sensitize the principals of the schools, they take it as a social taboo, and they say, even the topmost school of Delhi, many times we get a feedback, there is nothing wrong with our system.
We are being joined by a former student of the same school. Surendra is with us. Surendra, what's your question, and what was studying in that school like? Would you relate to this student?
Yeah, first of all, my heartfelt condolences to the teacher and the family. It is really a big loss which they have to incur at this right moment. And talking about the school, I was really shocked to see this incident. When you see the entrance, it says Viltara Ajay. The motto of the school is act like a man. And I 100% say all the students of this school who have passed out really acted like a man. We were friends with the teachers. I don't know how this incident has happened like this. And the stage is it right now is the society has become very dynamic now. Not even in schools, it happens in corporates also. So counseling is a department which has to come up in schools.
Did you know this teacher, Uma Maheshwari, who
No, she has joined after I left. I was a 2000 passed out.
Okay.
Right. Yes, go ahead.
It's pretty hard time that we have counselors, we have counseling in corporates and also in schools. And seeing my school in this situation, I don't know how to react here. We have great teachers, we have a great society, community of people in the school, and it's very heartbreaking to see this incident here. Thank you.
Right. Do you have any message for the students who are still there? Because these are young students who saw what happened today, and I'm sure it's a very traumatic incident for them too.
I'm 100% sure that the senior teachers as well as the principals and the correspondents will take this forward and see to it the students is not affected by incidents such as these. I'm 100% sure the school will come back very well.
Right. I understand Dr. Vora also wants to say something about this.
Yeah, I wanted to mention one point which you have rightly mentioned here, is the fact that the students who saw this murder being committed must have gone into a big shock, and depending on the coping capacity of each and every child, the response to that sort of trauma varies. So I would suggest to the principal of this school, on one hand we really feel sad and our condolences to the teacher's family, but simultaneously to the other students who witnessed this crime, they should be handled and their parents, and besides the children, the parents should be taken into consideration. Whosoever child is having any sort of trauma should be counseled, and if required, mental health intervention should be sought. Some of them could actually be having symptoms of post-traumatic stress disorder, in which they tend to relive the image, right, in which they see one of their classmates going and actually killing a human being who was a well-respected teacher. So we have to sensitize to the school for this aspect also.
Right, as you make that point, Doctor, we had put that question across to the correspondent of the school, who said, yes, we would make all efforts to counsel the students who were perhaps witness to this horrific incident. But Surendran, the alumni of that school, the point that he is raising perhaps raises one other question. Should this be seen as an isolated incident and not as a social trend? While yes, dealing with trauma, stress of children psychologically can be done for, let's say, minor issues that the children face, and in terms of understanding them better, to sort of look at these incidents as a large trend instead of being isolated incidents. Is that perhaps taking it a bit too far?
No, it is. See, let's be very aware of this fact that this is definitely an isolated incident. But as far as aggression in children is concerned, it is definitely on the rise. Not only India, all over the world. So aggressive outbursts of children is now being acknowledged from all over. We must understand the issues related to adolescent well-being, and simultaneously we should look at the ways of prevention of decreasing such aggressive outbursts in children. Somewhere down the line, these days I have got feedback from various teacher communities that they are too scared to discipline the children. And if you see the discipline in the schools is going down, somewhere down the line, if you will be surprised to know that around a few weeks back I read this information that in UK the corporal punishment is being sought. They are talking of bringing it back because they feel that they have spoiled their children. We have to be very careful. We should not repeat the same mistake of the Western world.
Right.
So if we are on one hand saying no corporal punishment, there has to be some mechanism in which the teachers should be able to discipline. Yeah,
indeed, and there has to be a certain balance that has to be arrived at. Joining us now on the phone line from Mumbai is Mr. Manoj. Sir, what's your question?
My question is, why is the aggression in children going up these days? You know, good old days we had teachers who were strict disciplinarians, but never did students have this aggression in them. So can Dr. Vora answer this in terms of what this observation?
Yes, that's something that many people ask. Right, go ahead, Dr.
See, the thing here is, if you see, on one hand we say that technology is a boon, but from my point of view I have seen that children are spending too many hours on internet, on TVs. On one hand, it is decreasing their mental capacity to handle the stress in their schools. Simultaneously, somewhere down the line, it is increasing the aggressive instinct, and they are becoming insensitive and apathetic towards what is happening in the society. Simultaneously, the change in the joint family system, the breakdown of joint family system, is removing the control of parents from the children's side. So there is nobody to give them moral guidance.
Dr. Vora, aren't these things
Yeah.
easier said than done? You say restrict the use of internet, you say bring back the culture of joint families, but the reality today is that without internet it's very difficult for a child to compete and say nuclear families.
Yeah.
So we have to look for a solution.
Agreed. The solution lies in the fact that, see, each and every child requires 8 hours of sleep. These days the children are not getting enough sleep. They have to go long ways, they have to travel far away. On one hand they have stress of academics, on the other hand they have to adjust to the environment in school as well as the pressure from parents. The parents also want their children to be all-rounder. You know, they want the child to be topping, they want the child to be all-rounder in sports. The expectations of parents also is coming on the
Dr.
children.
Vora, just want to get...
These days the
apologize for interrupting you. Just want to, valid points that you're making about sleep, about issues, but let's also remember that the incident happened in Chennai city, which is in comparison to, let's say, New Delhi or Mumbai, a city where distances are less, where the pressure perhaps is a little less, though not in terms of academic marks. Or Meenakshi Mahadevan still with us. She's got, we'll try and go back to her when we can. But Dr. Vora, can there be a blanket sort of analysis of a situation, or should it be city to city, individual to individual? Should we go down the micro route, or can there be one macro analysis to this issue of aggression in children as we are speaking about it?
Aggression is copied by the child. Either something is happening in the family or he sees in the society through anywhere, by any means. Plus, there are few psychiatric illnesses. For example, attention and hyperactivity disorder, conduct disorder. These disorders tend to produce, show aggressive outbursts in children. There is absolutely no mechanism in the present situation to understand and delineate which child is having some social problem or which child is having a psychological problem. If you ask me, on one hand, there cannot be one size fitting all solution. It has to be, the solution lies the solution lies by actually sensitizing the public, the teachers, the parents about the psychological aspect of child development, adolescent well-being. The children these days get hooked on to drugs. You can expect aggressive outbursts with somebody who's taken alcohol or drugs. They tend to follow so-called idols, who could be somebody who's taking drinks. They tend to respond to the peer pressure of, copying, smoking or drinking. There is definitely promiscuity in which they tend to have relations at an earlier stage. All these things put pressure on the mind of a child which is not mature enough to actually understand and actually handle all these sort of things. So there has to be, on one hand, social support, family support, and a psychological good support system in each and every school. That to my mind is the permanent solution.
Right, so you're saying it's overexposure and less monitoring is perhaps leading to this, but one thing leads to another, doctor, and then many would say that the student-teacher ratio also matters, because if you have 60 students being managed by one teacher, she may not notice those signs and refer the particular student to a psychiatrist.
Yeah, you're right. So we are not saying that you you send the child directly to the psychiatrist. There has to be a mechanism. Suppose you find a child either performing below par or not behaving well in the school. That child has to be seen by a counselor of the school. If the counselor feels that there is something that cannot be handled by that at that level, the counselor.
I really apologize for interrupting you, but we're just getting callers in as well. Just putting in a red herring here. Yeah. Look, this could be an instant of one isolated crime. This may not be fitting into this entire psychological analysis, but it triggers off the debate over aggression in children and what we can do for the youngsters. I believe we have a caller calling in, Rahim. He's calling in. Go ahead, Rahim. What is your question to Dr. Vora?
Yeah, I wanted to ask the doctor. He was totally focusing throughout the program on the student behavior, but behavior of whatever he has done is a grave mistake. We can understand that. But whatever the way of teachers teaching the students, the way they bully them, the way they pressurize them into doing such things, he must have reacted adversely. But the way of teaching also should be quite with a human touch. a lot of love and passion. That will change the student's mindset also.
Dr.
I
Vora?
think the teacher has failed to do that.
Dr. Vora, could you let
totally
us
agree with
start off
him,
by
yes.
the teacher?
I totally agree with him, but you know, we cannot justify a murder, whatever may be the reason. Yes, teachers are many times at fault. Teachers are under pressure from the respective principals that they must have the best possible result. So teachers are also under pressure. We don't deny that. And teachers also, I would agree with the caller, the teachers should also have, when I'm using the psychological aspect, I'm definitely trying to imply that the sensitization of such issues for the teachers is very important. They should know how to handle the child. They should know where the child is getting hurt. They should know these days, if you speak against a child in front of the whole class, the child takes it much more in a negative way as somebody, say, 10 years back would take. So the oversensitivity aspect is also there, but definitely the relationship between children and teacher has also changed. They should also be, you know, trained enough as far as psychological aspect is concerned, besides being good in their respective subjects. Many times I see the children come to me where they say that they don't like a particular teacher. When I say why, they say that teacher is very arrogant, or the teacher does not know how to teach, or the teacher is not giving us sufficient time, or the teacher has given too much of homework and I can't do. So there could be multiple issues, and you see in a situation like this, I would say कि ताली दो हाथ से बजती है. So it has to be from both ends, no doubt about it.
Dr. Sandeep Vora, consultant psychiatrist, has been answering questions from our callers. Of course, most of us talking about rage in the youngsters and teenagers. This may not be an incident related to that, but that's the larger issue. It triggers off. We've got our next caller coming in. Go ahead, sir. What's your question? Jeff is our next caller. Jeff, go ahead. What's your question?
Well, I'm an ex-student of St. Mary's.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm a teacher also.
Okay.
And I witnessed violence among students also. When I went to separate a fight, they had attacked me also.
Okay.
So I want to ask Dr. Vora.
Go ahead.
I want to ask Dr. Vora, since the government has taken everything out of the teacher's hands, how do we discipline a class to teach them?
I'm totally
Go ahead, Dr. Vora.
I'm in total agreement with this, that the teachers are helpless these days, and it has been, you know, it seems to be a one-sided decision, but we have to look at some solution. That is the reason I gave example of you know, UK, in which it has been, the talk is there that they are saying that we have to somehow discipline the children and we should not repeat the same mistake. So there has to be a balance between on one hand teaching and on the other hand discipline. Definitely I will agree with this caller who is a teacher, that these days teachers feel helpless and they have pressure from all over, from the parents who want their child to excel, from the principal who wants the result to be the best, and from their own families to for their routine responsibilities. So definitely the teachers are in a fix, and as I told previously, there has to be a mechanism in which all such aggressive outbursts are handled in a scientific way.
Right, Dr. Vora's prescribing a scientific way to handle aggressive outbursts. But Jeff, if you're still with us, as a teacher, what do you believe is a solution? We've listened to the psychoanalyst, consultant psychiatrist from Apollo, his solutions to the problem. But as a teacher, what do you think can be done?
As a teacher, I think since the West is thinking of coming back to corporal punishment, well, we shouldn't go to such extreme steps, but there should be some way of what we should have some sort of a solution where the teacher, because it seems that the students know their rights and they've lost respect for the teacher.
Did you know this teacher who was murdered today? Did you know her since you were a student from that same school, you say? Did you know her? Can you tell us a little bit more about the school, the teacher, And perhaps the student, if you knew him?
Yeah, I don't know the teacher because I was from the 1976 batch.
Okay.
But I always have fond memories of that school.
All right, appreciate you joining us this evening, Jeff. We're sorry the line with you seems to have an echo in it, which is what is delaying our communication. We've got another caller coming in, Prasad. He's calling in. Go ahead, sir.
Sir, my question to the psychiatrist is, the thing is actually we are putting more and more pressure to the children, sir. As a result of it, actually, they are unable to control themselves because there is a lot of pressure either at the school or at home. School in the sense that actually from morning to evening with heavy loads of bags, actually they are being tortured right from home itself. The second thing is at home actually they are being tortured by giving excessive amount of homework. And their extracurricular activities such as games or some videos, etc., there is no time at all for them to view it. I feel that once when you reduce these activities of excessive pressure, children will be normal, sir. And moral sciences, which earlier used to be there, nowadays actually these things are totally gone now.
Do you agree,
Except
Dr. Vora?
commercialization, nothing else is there.
Do you agree?
Absolutely. I'm totally in agreement of this. And let me explain to our viewers what causes some sort of abnormal behavior. See, any abnormal behavior will have few areas. It's geno, bio, psycho, socio-economic issues in any particular child. Genetic loading of aggression, somebody has a genetic predisposition for psychiatric illness, biological issues, some chemical change in the brain, psychosocial issues of that child, and economic issues. You have a child, suppose a child whose father keeps on telling him that I am spending this much amount on you every day and I am, for your teaching, for your studies, and the teacher is giving me this feedback that you are not studying. Now, child also will have some sort of tolerance, and if he keeps on getting this repeated negative comments from the father, one day he or she can go to the extent of harming himself or the other person. So we have to have a holistic picture of what is happening in our society. The pressure on children is definitely too much, and there has been a change in the system of examination of CBSE, but somewhere down the line, what feedback we are getting also, that is also putting the pressure on the children. And I would agree with the previous caller that the children do not have any time for relaxation. They are always burdened with work or studies, and they have no time to spend for themselves or for relaxation.
Right, Dr. Vora, thank you very much for taking those callers and sharing your views with us.